Now I'd like to call upon my sister BBG, Michelle Tanner, for honorary lifetime membership.
Okay, to light my candle, I would have had Billy Cohen, Jill Sherman, Carly Alper, Kaylee Appel, Marnie Gallen, and Andy Strugo. The people who initially ignited my flame. Without each of you, I wouldn't be here now, both in my life and in BBYO. You've all inspired me in one way or another, speaking last at my life ceremony, ridiculously graduating from BBYO. I love you all. But to induct me as a lifetime member, you all know that Becca, Sydney, Amanda, Sophia, and I are social distancing, so they are going to be reading our culty thing. I can't read from that part. Oh wait, here. 1, 2, 3. By the power vested in us by BBYO Lake Ontario Region, I hereby welcome you, Michelle Tanner, as a lifetime member of the International Order of the B'nai B'rith Girls. May you continue to lead with a free and joyous heart. Oh, that was good. All right. Okay. I know this age-old story is cliche, but BBYO and BBG truly turned my life around. When I found BBYO, my life was one I wanted to change so urgently and so deeply. I needed profound change to value my life again, to start to love myself again. BBYO was that. I entered BBG with no friends, no one to go to when things were bad, which I really needed. I have told this story 100 times, but if you are yet to hear it, here is the short version of the 5-year-long version. In September of my 8th grade year, my dad dragged me out of the house to go for dinner at Lone Star Grill, a Tex-Mex restaurant I used to love. Lo and behold, we ended up at the Dufferin Clark Community Center. I was really hungry, but that was the beginning of what has been the most wild and amazing 5-year-long journey. Nobody recruited me. No one even texted me before the program the next week to make sure I was coming back. If I have anyone to thank for sitting here right now, it really is my dad, also known as Rob. My first program was fine. It was a Sukkot program that wasn't so special, but looking back, it was really impressive that we had one. It was a cross-chapter program, which thank God I didn't know before because Exodus in 2015 was so intimidating. In the following weeks, we had our first business meeting, and that's the program when I fell in love with BBYO. I loved how technical it was and the systems that were in place that everyone just seemed to know. I felt at ease. I knew I was home. At that same business meeting, Jill Sherman and Tyler Lebo pulled me aside and told me to run for chapter Mekasharet. I had only been in BBYO for 3 weeks at this point, but they knew that I was the person for the job. Them asking me to run was the first time I'd ever been kind of recruited to something. It was my first insight into building a relationship with someone and ensuring they find what's best for them. Please, and I cannot say this more, enough, or loud enough, please recruit people. Whether it's for membership in AZA or BBG, to go on a summer program or to go to a convention, people need you. No one is making it up when they say someone should join BBYO, go to any experience, but most definitely go on a summer program. It is just as simple as making a human connection with other humans to make sure they get to the places they would never know existed without you. Please recruit. Please make sure to text people to come back to your programs. Pass on the experience. The rest of grade 8 and the beginning of grade 9 were really exciting. I ran and lost chapter Nicaea, even though Sophia and I ended up running the chapter, which is how we stopped hating each other. That year, though, I fell in love with being Mora. I learned how to really engage with BBGs who weren't just the ones I initially clicked with. Also, I'm gonna ask, I can see the chat going off, and LOR, I love you all so much, but if somebody's not talking about you and you're talking about hats, it's rude. Stop it, please. I've said this so many times, just like, please stop. But 9th grade was also my first IC Dallas 2017. I am so thankful I went. I was one of the only grade 9s going with Ezra, and I was terrified. Well, only my older friends were going, and I was scared I wasn't close enough with them or old enough for them to want to hang out with me. This was the first time I really learned to take every opportunity. Every experience in BBYO brings its new set of excitements and perfect memories, and I'm so grateful I didn't pass this one up. I got to be the entire convention's token Canadian with Andy and Josh, and that has never ended. It was so much fun to convince people that I lived in an igloo, rode sled dogs, and so much more. Go on a summer program, apply for steering, run for chapter board. It doesn't matter who starts the experience with you. It matters who is with you when it ends. Take every opportunity that comes your way, with or without your friends. The spring of grade 9 was craziness. I ran for Nicaea, I won. I went to CLTC. Amanda and I had a really weird time, but nothing could be weirder than coming home. I came home and my co resigned. I was terrified. No one could prepare me for what was to come. How lonely it was to work alone, to be in it alone. I was in 10th grade. I didn't go to Perlman. I didn't feel like anybody in the exec body would want to talk to me or supported me, but I needed to be strong for my board. As many of you know, Andy is still one of my closest friends, and never, ever let someone's choice to do what's best for them define your friendship. I would have taken a friend over a co any day, and anyone who resigns respectfully in BBYO is a hero. My lack of a co, however, developed my newfound friendship with staff. People joked all year that Kevin was my co, and nothing could have been more true. I was lucky I learned early on that staff wouldn't be doing this if they didn't love their job or love us. I also got to train Ray, which was really fun, and Kevin got to train both of us. Staff only want what's best. I promise if they didn't, they wouldn't ever be here. That includes the advisors or any adults you meet along your BBYO journey. Perlman wasn't perfect. I didn't meet my best friends or click with the best people, but I made really amazing connections. I got to meet the fabulous AZA and BBG team who truly make BBYO what it is today. And I got introduced to the people who became my best friends, just a little later. Grade 11 was everything I needed it to be, a break. I got to start a chapter with Jack, and we absolutely crushed being teen advisors, even if the chapter isn't doing so hot right now. We got to be silly and start something from the ground up and build it up. And I got to be in a relationship in BBYO without being afraid to keep it low key. Fast forward to IC Denver 2019, the craziest week of my life. I lost my voice completely. I was so nervous, and I tried to make the best of one of the most anxiety-driven weekends of my life. This is when I learned that only you can make or break any BBYO experience. I realized in my time as a general member that only you can make a convention enjoyable. Go to the silly programs, plan what you think will be fun for others, stay away from the status quo. Sitting with the same 5 people going to the same program every convention is boring. That is true. Then change your own path. You create the fun. Get crazy. I didn't go crazy in Denver, and I wish I did. Elections was one of the hardest days of my life. I was running against my friends, and all weekend I prepared myself to lose. I was ready for the heartbreak. I wouldn't have gotten through that day without Amanda, Sophia, Maya, or Kevin. Thank you guys for the endless amount of tea runs, bathroom checkups, and not allowing me to use my old man voice. Monday, I came home ready, terrified, but so excited to serve on international board. My next challenge, the next chapter. ILSI 2019. I do not have enough words to describe how perfect this Israel trip was. I made my best friends. I found my place. I cried one night because I had some petty experience with a dud on my trip I've been close with, but I wasn't crying because of her. I cried because that 8th grade girl who was alone and scared and didn't have anyone else to go to was gone. I found my family, the people who supported me that night. ILSI was super goopy, as you can see in the chat, and if you don't know what goop is, it's exactly what it sounds like. You guys will see the random names on here that obviously aren't from our region, and they are my people. Look around, you will find your people too, and they will be just as good as them. This year has been insane. The incredible staff I've worked with, my amazing board, my coordinator team, but most importantly, my perfect counterparts. The Moro team this year worked so hard, it was absolutely crazy. I'm so lucky to have worked with each and every one of you, and I'm so crazy lucky to have been able to be your counterpart. I loved this year. I got a crazy co for the first time, but couldn't have asked for anything better. We crushed it all and learned so much from our apocalyptic year. I learned about the amount of incredible staff BBYO has around the globe, and it is mind-blowing. Morgan, the staff I had the pleasure of working closest with this year, taught me the importance of being organized, stress-free travel, and that my time is truly valuable. I am so lucky I learned to open my ears to staff. I see 2020 rolled around, and it also could not have been better. From the incredible modular theme to being next door to my best friends, to working on separates, to a truly amazing admin team, to creating an unprecedented freshman experience. Siri has been listening the whole time, you guys. She knows. To creating an unprecedented freshman experience, I continue to get so unbelievably lucky. It was the perfect last I see as a participant. A year ago, I would have told you, once I graduated from BBYO, I was graduating. I was quote unquote closing the yearbook, but I've recently realized that is never happening. I will be back in so many ways, and when I'm in Montreal, or at least eventually get to Montreal, I am only a text or a call away. BBYO will always be a part of my journey. To those who inspired me to get here, thank you. To those who came along my path and pushed me forward, thank you for believing in me. To you who will come next, get ready. This is the journey of a lifetime. Never forget that. BBYO is everything. There is truly nothing better. No better gift to give to any Jewish teen. Step up to the plate, take the challenge, do all the things that you have ever wanted to do. You guys, if you don't act now, there will be no when. Do anything that makes your heart beat out of your chest, because I have and always will believe in you, and I hope that's enough. No words can culminate how I feel about this organization, but appreciate your years in it. Feel so lucky that you are a part of the 0.2% of the population who has the potential to experience BBYO, and then so much less of that 0.2% that actually ends up in Ola for BBG. So I'm gonna do this in a different order than everyone else because I don't like the real order. But to blow out my candles, I would have had Rourke. Rourke, without you, I wouldn't have gotten to this point. I wouldn't have believed in myself to keep pushing beyond all the times you've picked me up from falling. I know that it's not always easy balancing us and BBYO, but you've always allowed me to put what I feel passionate about first, and I can't wait to continue doing that. You inspire me every day, and our future will be no different. So, for the last time, submitted with undying love for the places you'll go, writing your story, CLTC 8 2017, I can't see it anymore, Promo 2018, ILSI 2019, the Trifecta, the 38th Regional Board, Wings, Party Room Forever, the 75th International Board, Cover Up BBG number 2307, Lake Ontario Region number 36, and the International Order of the B'nai B'rith Girls. I forever remain Michelle Sarah Tanner, a damn proud lifetime member. Nope.